Hey, what's happening? The Greek trilogy remake is now in development.
God of War Trilogy Remake. I don't know if anyone recalls the time we had only remakes or remasters around 2017, but it was too often and sometimes done very poorly. Ideally for remasters is essentially like have everything the same but update the graphics to introduce to the new generation, or have the remakes and make some adjustments to improve the game itself. Either they can fix the story, add some features they couldn't do before 20 years ago, essentially improvement for the better, which that is a good thing. That is a good idea to push for. Then again, it's more ideally for remakes, because whenever people do a remake, it tends to a certain extent to have liberties to change something that was a little bit unnecessary, and then remove certain things that was essential to the story or game where it wasn't a problem to begin with. Of course, you have some people who looked at the trailer and they get soy tears like their dad has returned for once. Look, this is not out of hate. I personally love the God of War series, especially the Greek ones, even though I was introduced in 2018, but that went downhill with Ragnarok, and essentially I just went hog wild in God of War 3 and the rest of the trilogy. But at the same time, you gotta have to be skeptical, especially when Sony just announced you can rent the PlayStation console. Isn't that a little suspicious to add a distraction while they put a red carpet under you? Damn! I wonder where I heard that one before. But also seriously, we're going into the territory of owning nothing and you will be happy. This is scary and I need my 100GB RAM for my PC immediately. By the way, if you really think about it, they have never done this before, that they show a game in development or about to be developed, but with God of War 2016. So why are they doing this for this game? Like, what is the strategy Sony is doing, if not then just being a distraction of announcing that you can just rent a PS5? Too bad I can't talk about the 2D platform game because it's not on PC. Womp womp. But as also, this is just a remake and they're building it from the ground up as they just started development. We won't be able to see this game for another 3 to 5 years. It's not like they showed the character, they showed like how the game looks like or anything. It's just a logo saying it's a remake. So why is everyone excited about this? So the point of this is we are putting away too much trust into a development team while the publisher being Sony that has ulterior motives. And also, what if the God of War trilogy is something completely different to what we know from the old games? Like shit, we are no longer in the year 2005, we are in the year 2026. Games are much more restricted in terms of not seeing this, giving way too much hand-holding to people, and because it's modern gaming, I'm very confident microtransactions might be even a thing. Do I hope they won't ruin the trilogy that is so beloved by most of the audience? Well, it's a remake, so I kinda expect them to fuck up on something, and if they do it, I'll just go back and play the OG God of War series in my PS2 and PS3 emulators. Easy peasy solution. Of course, there is one valid criticism, and it is to port the OG games instead of making a remake. You know what? I agree. Devil May Cry did that, and they're available on Steam. Unless you're broke, then you can do it on the PS2 emulator. It's just a simple fix, and you make some money and move on with it. As much as I like the idea, but we're gonna have to be realistic here. Remakes or remasters make a lot more money than just port the game and put a price tag on it. Because they cost more to make, thus they'll put a bigger price tag to get the bigger money in return. Business 101. As much as I appreciate to a certain extent Santa Monica does generally do things for its fans, but the real kicker that most likely ruined certain games and almost did that with Helldivers 2 is Sony themselves. I'm not saying immediately use a blame finger on Sony if games fails, because there might be some factors that might come into play that we didn't know about. But yes, it's literally Sony's fault. Rent PS5, Helldivers 2 PS account, and most likely more. Fuck Sony, honestly.